Are you dreaming of a white Christmas? A lot of folks are, and even if you're not Team Snow, if you're not here for it, most folks I talk to say, hey, you know, a little bit of snow Christmas morning, that's not a terrible thing. Now, of course, you don't want to have all the travel problems and everything else, but a little bit of snow on the ground Christmas morning, there's something kind of cool about it. Now, when you look back at historically what's happened with Norfolk, looking at all of our climate data going back into the 1890s, the chances for Norfolk any given year to have a white Christmas, a little bit less than 5%. That's it. How do we define a white Christmas? Well, that's 1 inch of snow or more on the ground at 7 a.m. on December 25th. So it does happen. It doesn't happen a lot. The last white Christmas on record for Norfolk happened in 1966. We had 4 inches on the ground. I will say back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, it happened like 5 times. So several times we had snow, and there were other times where there was snow on Christmas Day. It didn't quite add up to that. But more recently, since 1970, really hasn't happened. Now, we have had trace amounts of snow, and we had 1 year in particular, many of you might remember this, 2010, where we picked up over 3/4 of an inch at the airport. That occurred Christmas evening. So it was dry in the morning. It wasn't a white Christmas for Christmas morning, but snow started. The thing is, that snow kept rolling past midnight. And the following day, we picked up over 13 inches, bringing a storm total to Norfolk, 14.2 inches of snow. That was December 25th into the 26th. So tremendous amount of snow in 2010. You may remember that. All right, let's take a look at the areas where we currently have snow already covering the ground. We do have it up in the Northeast, and there's some areas that have come off the Great Lakes with some lake effect snow where there's already a heavy coating of snow. Some snow back down over the mountains. Of course, the upper peninsula of Michigan, heavy snow up that way. Parts of the northern half of the lower peninsula of Michigan also with snow. There's snow across the northern tier of the U.S. and then heavy amounts of snow over the mountains out west as well. Now, when we take a look at the climatology nationally here for the chances of a white Christmas, these areas shaded in white, close to 100%. They always have snow. And again, those are largely higher elevations you can see. As you look back across the upper Midwest and the northern tier, it's very likely they have a white Christmas. Minnesota, Wisconsin. I already mentioned snows on the ground for those parts of Michigan. And these areas shaded in blue that drop down through Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas. There you get more into this, say, 25 to 50% chance. And that continues into parts of Kentucky and West Virginia. Here in Norfolk, there's just a little bit of blue shading over the north and central parts of the Commonwealth. And as you get down into North Carolina, it's pretty rare. I want to give you some more specifics for a few locations. Let's start with Edenton. Less than 1%. They're right there on the Albemarle Sound. That tends to moderate temps. It's really hard to get a white Christmas in Edenton. As we look around Oceana, you can see there's about a 1% chance, similar to Norfolk. Off to the north, Williamsburg, it's about 3%. But I have a big kind of catch here. I was talking to Larry Brown, one of the meteorologists out in Wakefield, about the climatology here of white Christmases. And he had mentioned, he said, Craig, don't forget, some of the records kept in Williamsburg don't go back quite as far as the official National Weather Service reporting site. So if they went back into the 30s, 40s, and 50s like Norfolk, this number may be quite a bit higher, but we'll say about 3%, maybe a little bit more than that for Williamsburg. Looking up towards Wallops Island, now you're farther north and your chances for a white Christmas any given year go up. What about this year? Well, we'll take a look ahead, and this is just one model. This is not the official 13 News Now forecast. I want you to keep checking back with us at 13 News Now. Our weather team will keep you updated as we get closer to Christmas. But what I wanted to show you is generally we've got cooler weather anticipated for this upcoming weekend, Saturday into Sunday. Again, as we record this is on the 16th. As we look forward again, this following weekend leading up to Christmas, much cooler weather expected for Hampton Roads. Getting into Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, temperatures may be down into the 30s, and there is a chance for a few showers. Now, it looks like it's going to be above freezing, and with a high near 48 on Tuesday, the ground's going to be warm. So at this point, very, very unlikely we're going to have a white Christmas here this year. We're not planning on that. but with the chance for a few sprinkles and some colder air in place that morning. If things change up a little bit over the next week or so, you can't completely rule it out 100%. So let's keep a close eye to things and keep checking back for updates from our weather team here at 13 News Now. And we'll continue to modify that forecast and keep you updated. Again, chances for a white Christmas, pretty slim for 2024, but we are always watching.